To see him at the top. What a win, man. What a night. Something's worth doing. It's worth doing well. To be winners at the end of the day. Oh, what a night, man. What a night. I'm in a bloody great mood, as you can tell. The Cowboys get it done over the Sharks. Finally, a win over the Sharks in the regular season. First time we have beaten the Sharks in the regular season since 2018. What a win, man. Just one moment, guys. Just want to get this other light on. There we go. Much better lighting. Much better. What about that, man? Super Saturday. Did it deliver? I probably thought the games were going to be a lot closer than what some of them ended up being. But overall, I really enjoyed today, man. Obviously, the first game was a massive surprise. But the other two, I think a lot of people were really torn on the Cowboys-Sharks game. No one really knew who to pick. It was a tough game to pick going into it. You had the Cowboys obviously up against the Sharks, and that everyone was a bit torn on that game. And in Roosters Manly, it was pretty much the same. Manly, I was prepared to come on here and shit on Manly, but the way they fought back in that second half, and to do it without a centre and winger was quite impressive. Roosters still have a lot to work on, man. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the review, Saturday football review for round 21 of the NRL. I hope you guys are all doing well. Welcome to the channel. If you are new to the channel, I hope I can get you to consider liking the stream and subscribing to the channel. I would really appreciate that. That would mean a lot to me. And shout out to the live chat as well. G'day to Josh. G'day to Jason. G'day to NRL Edits. G'day to Lockie. G'day to Porky. G'day to Luke. Nathan. Who else is here? York. Who else we got here? We got everyone rolling in. Jason Reader. We got Abraha. Dogs and Cowboys will compete for top 4 in the last round. That would be insane. Like, that would actually be like the biggest regular season game at a core stadium since South Roosters, bro. Like, that would be pretty nuts. William Pearson in the chat. Hello, Will. I hope you're doing good, man. What about that game, man? Like, we've saw, like, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get through all of them, but the way that Roosters Manly game finished was quite insane. And to all the haters out there that have been absolutely destroying Chad Townsend on social media lately, the ones that want to be keyboard warriors and just want to bag him because he's Chad Townsend and he's leaving at the end of the year. To everyone out there that's bagging him and saying this and that, shush. Chad Townsend has been a great servant at the club. He's done a great job at the Cowboys, and hopefully he leads us to a premiership at the end of the year. I'd love that. And people are going to laugh their head off about that, but you don't remember he won a grand final in 2016. He's got experience. He knows how to get it done in big games. So, yes. Anyway, man, let's get into the review, shall we? We got 3 games to get through. We're going to be pretty quick on the Broncos-Dogs game. There isn't really a whole lot to go over. Now, the Broncos. What a disgrace. Honestly, I think they'll even admit it themselves. Like, this was an absolute disgrace from the Broncos. I know the Bulldogs were fantastic, and I'm going to give the Bulldogs their praise, man. But the Broncos at Suncorp Stadium today, I think this morning you couldn't even get a ticket to the game. My brother was trying to get a ticket. He couldn't even get a ticket to the game. So they were practically sold out on the website. I don't think it was sold out at the stadium, but a lot of tickets were sold. Now, 41-16 was the score. For a team like the Broncos, who got as close to full strength as possible, I know there's still a few injuries that obviously they have to go through, and they can't really use it as an excuse. They were as close to full strength as they could have been, and they dished up that crap. Their season is on the line. Like, now they have to win pretty much every single game to make the 8. They got the Gold Coast Titans next week, and that's going to be an awkward game for them just because Titans beat them earlier in the season, and I think they beat them at Brisbane again last year. So next week's an awkward game for the Broncos, and they have to win pretty much every game from now to make the 8, unless a few results go their way and a few top 8 sides fall off. But my God, man, for them to get flogged like that, 41-16, in front of a packed Suncorp Stadium, over 45,000 people there, it's just simply embarrassing. I know the Dogs were great, and the Dogs are going to get a rap from me because I've been critical of the Bulldogs' away record, and tonight, well, this afternoon, I should say, the Dogs were fantastic. They really deserve a rap for their performance. Broncos, I don't know, man. I genuinely don't know what's going on. Like, they played Newcastle last week, and they sort of went on with it, and they got it done. But my goodness, the Broncos tonight, this afternoon, what was that, man? Like, I know there was a few injuries. I think Mariner got injured. Reynolds was carrying a knee injury at some point during the game. To dish up that crap, 41-16. To go from a grand final last year to this is really, really poor, man. The Bulldogs, though, well done to the Dogs, man. The Dogs are looking good. It's just, like, everyone thought the Broncos were back last week. Everyone thought they were looking really good. They were heavy favourites going into it. I fell into the trap with the Broncos. I tipped them in this game, and they disappointed big time. They really disappointed. I thought the Bulldogs were fantastic, man. Like, it just makes the Cowboys win over the Bulldogs look even better last week. It really does. Broncos, man, I don't know, man. Like, they're on life support now. Like, I'd be surprised. I'd be very surprised if they went on a run after this. Like, that was so poor. Bulldogs, though, tries to Bronson Sherry. Tracy got a hat-trick at fullback. Skelton got one on the wing. Kickout got one. Carraz got one. Shout out to Connor Tracy. He was outstanding. Probably the best game of his rugby league career, man. Tracy was electric. Couldn't have played any better than what he did. As for the Broncos, defensively, they were terrible. They just got no answers at the moment. I don't know how they go. Like, the next 2 games, Titans at Seabus, which is awkward, and then the Cowboys in Townsville. And if you've been watching the Cowboys the last couple of weeks, you'll know how hot the Cowboys are looking. So, I don't know, man. I'm really intrigued to see if the Broncos make any changes. But credit to the Bulldogs, man. Going up to Suncorp there, getting a big win like that. I was a bit doubtful on the Bulldogs making the top 8 during the week. But after watching that performance and their home record, surely the Dogs make the 8 from here. Surely they make the 8. Great win for the Dogs. Player of the game. Easily Connor Tracy. Absolutely easily. Well done to the Dogs. Now, Cowboys versus Sharks. Great game. This game was a better game than I thought it was going to be. Now, here's the thing, right? I'll say this. I don't want to be too biased. I want to be fair on this. The Sharks, right? The Sharks had a lot of chances in this game to really, really suffocate the Cowboys and really put us away. But they failed to do so. The Cowboys' goal line defense in that first half was absolutely fantastic. The resilient, the effort, fantastic. And for the Cowboys to lose, the leader of the forward pack, Ruben Cotter, and the monster of the forward pack, Jason Taumalolo, for the Cowboys to lose Cotter and Taumalolo inside what was it, 20 minutes they played? How long did they last? Taumalolo lasted 10 minutes. Cotter lasted 19 minutes. To lose Cotter and Taumalolo both in the space of 20 minutes, and for the Cowboys to win 30-22 and defend the way they did was absolutely fantastic. Now, I know the Sharks scored 22 points, albeit two of their tries were off kicks, so I'm not too angry about that. I mean, that obviously the Trindle try was off. It was basically a game of soccer, the Trindle try. Atkinson's one was off a dead error at the end. I guess fatigue. And I guess the other ones were, Ronaldo in the corner, which was a little bit frustrating. And then obviously Kayla Iro, he went over when it was 13-12. So that kind of pissed me off. But just the way the Cowboys defended most of the game with, losing Cotter and Taumalolo was a big effort. It was a very, very big effort. Obviously, 30-22 was the final score. Kyle Felt got a hat trick. Talangi got one. Good to see Talangi back. He played really well tonight. Nanai, outstanding. I believe Jeremiah Nanai got the Paul Green medal, so that was outstanding. And for the Sharks, obviously, Ronaldo, Militalo, Kayla Iro, Trindle, Atkinson were the try scorers there. I thought the Cowboys bench players that come on, obviously had to play bigger minutes, were outstanding, man. Griffin Name, phenomenal performance from Griffin Name. 170 meters or something he ran for. He was outstanding. McIntyre, doing his job in the middle, ripping in. Jordan McLean had to play a big minutes. I thought Jordan McLean was absolutely fantastic tonight. He had a really good game. And also, man, I want to give a massive rap to this bloke because ever since he come to the Cowboys, he was a bit of an unknown player. Not many people really knew who he was or what he's all about, but massive shout out to Harrison Edwards. Harrison Edwards has been a very underrated signing for the Cowboys so far since coming up from Canterbury. Harrison Edwards tonight. I'll be live. I'll be good. My apologies about that, guys. Just the connection, I suppose, wanting to cut out. I will continue with what I said. My apologies. Hopefully the connection improves. Harrison Edwards, man. Ever since coming up from Canterbury, not many people knew who he was. He was a little bit under the radar. I thought Harrison Edwards tonight was phenomenal. That was his best game in a Cowboys jersey, and I'm really, really pleased with how he went tonight, man. He had to play more minutes than usual. Ran for 121 meters off the bench. Played 48 minutes. Edwards deserves a big rap, man. So does, Granville come on at 18th man, did a job, made a bunch of tackles, got through a lot of work. Just a fantastic performance, man. Look, man, I don't want to be critical of anyone for the Cowboys, but the one player that I think needs to go up a couple of gears, because I think Jackson Purdue is really, really pushing this bloke's position. I think Viliami Vilea played really well tonight, but I've got to say, man, Jackson Purdue is the next young talent coming through the system. If Viliami Vilea doesn't go up an extra step or two in the coming weeks, Jackson Purdue is going to take his spot, man. I think Vilia's playing well and doing a really good job, but, man, Jackson Purdue, he's that good of a kid. You probably can't keep him out you can't have him out at the 17. He's got to be in the team every week. He's just playing really well. So I love Vilea. I think he's doing a good job, but he needs to go up an extra step or two, man, because Purdue is going to take his spot. He really is. Even Braden Burns as well. Like Braden Burns, every time he's played for us this year, he's been very good. So great win for the Cowboys. Everyone played really well, man. Drinkwater was good. Felt on the wing. Dearden, Townsend, like everyone was just really solid tonight. Really good performance. Um, really interested to see. Like we got the West Tigers next week. West Tigers are our bogey team, man. Like we got a horrible record at Leichhardt, so I'm intrigued to see how we go in that one. I think it's a game that we need to win as well. Just got to keep getting these wins on the board, get enough to get into that top 8. So really big game next week as well. Player of the game though. Look, I know Kyle Felt had 3 tries and Drinkwater was also very good, but I can't go past Jeremiah Nanai. Thought Nanai was outstanding. So I'm going to give Nanai the player of the game, and I thought he was phenomenal tonight. And final game. Roosters 34. Manly 30. This game was insane. This game was absolutely insane. Manly looked absolutely gone. I don't know how they came back. They lost their winger, Jason Saab. They lost Ruben Garrick to a concussion. And they had Corey Waddell playing in the centres with Carl Lawton. And they had Ben Trebojevic on the wing at one point. It was chaos. They had an 18th man activated. Clayton Faulu, I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. Just, if you're the Roosters, right? If you're Trent Robinson, you would be so pissed off. How do you lead? What was it, 28-6? Or whatever it was, 22-0 at one point. And it was 28-6. And Manly lose 2 of their outside backs, and they somehow come back. Like, the Roosters throw 2 intercepts as well. Just gifted Manly tries. Like, my God. My God. Roosters will take the 2 points and they'll move on to the Dolphins next week over there in Perth. But goodness me. Roosters fans are probably upset about this. The way they played in that second half. They'd be filthy, man. It was 28-12 at halftime, I believe. And just, yeah, they won't be happy, the Roosters. I don't think they will be happy at all. Obviously, Joseph Suaalii was the first try scorer in this game. Tedesco got 1, Keary got 1, Dom Young got 1, Radley got 1, and the old dog Michael Jennings got 1. And for the Manly tries to Luke Brooks, Sipley of all people, Talau with an intercept, Clayton Faulu with an intercept, and Terry Evans with an intercept. Manly scored 3 intercept tries tonight. That's insane. And the Roosters scored 3 tries off lucky kicks. So, bizarre game, man. Bizarre game. Would I say it was a great game? Yes. Would I say this was a top 4 quality game? No. Definitely not. 34-30. Defense was non-existent in this game. Obviously it was a big game, and it did feel like a finals game, but I wouldn't say it was obviously it was a top 4 clash, but I wouldn't say it was like a high quality elite level type of game where it was like both these sides are like going to be contenders. It was, to me, the Roosters just showed me that they're frauds because they barely got away with this win. And Manly, they were terrible in the first half and they come back with no backs. So this game probably made Manly look better than what the Roosters showed in the first half. Manly probably got more out of this than the Roosters, if I'm honest. I really do think they did. Roosters should have went on with this and won this by 20. But they just let him back in and they stuffed it up. Now, there was a really bad decision that went against Manly. There was a forward pass decision, which would have made it 28-22. That was a tough call. I don't think Manly were robbed. I think they had some bad calls go against them. But when you give up a 28-6 lead, you probably don't deserve it, really. But they had the chances, Manly. They come back. They fought really hard. Probably just ran out of time there towards the end. Player of the game, though, really tough one to pick because I almost want to give it to a Manly player just because of how much the Roosters stuffed up this game. My player of the game. Look, I know he had some issues tonight, but I think if you take that out of it, I thought James Tedesco was phenomenal. I think you got to go Tedesco. I thought Tedesco was great tonight. Tedesco is my player of the game. Roosters get it done, 34-30. Not pretty. It was a very ugly win for the Roosters, but they move on and they just take the 2 points and move on to the next challenger, which is Dolphins next week. But guys, that is where the review is going to come to an end. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and up the bloody Cowboys. Up the Cowboys.